Saturday night.
Time for your weekly dose of pop culture.
With Kathy and Kenny. Welcome to the show.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Sunday night, and this is Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture. We come to you every weekend with a different pop culture topic. I am coming to you from the north, Kenny from the south, me from North Carolina, Kenny from South Carolina. I'm Kathy, and welcome to the show. How are you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good, but I'm in South Jersey.
Oh, what did I say?
You said South Carolina.
Oh, okay. I was like North Carolina. No, I know it's north and south, but it's North Carolina, South Jersey, even though you're in the northern part of the country and I'm in the southern part. It was supposed to be a play on words when I actually get the words right.
Yes. Hey, Lisa, how you doing out there? In our comments and everything. How are you doing?
Good evening. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
How are you doing today?
I am great. I am so great. I had such a great time this 4th of July holiday weekend. And again, I already celebrated Independence Day back on June 19th for Juneteenth. But for the 4th of July holiday, I actually had an opportunity to go to Atlanta, Georgia, downtown Atlanta for Podcast Summit. And you know what? I was so bad today. I was so tired, I think, from driving and just the long weekends that I took a nap. I thought it was going to be like 30 minutes, and it was like almost 2 hours.
Right? Sometimes you need that.
So again, my spirit needed to rest, I guess. So anyway, but Podcast Summit, David Shands, who is a social proof podcaster, brought together a bunch of speakers and different sessions for podcasters. And you know what, Kenny? The majority were podcasters of color. It was so awesome to see so many creators of color. But I got a chance to be there to help out with ECAM. ECAM hosted the Content Lounge. And this Content Lounge, and now I feel kind of ridiculous because I should have brought some of the clips to, and maybe I'll have to share them next week because I didn't download them. I should have downloaded some of the clips so I could share that you could see kind of what it looked like. Basically, they had these pods that looked like little teeny houses, and within the houses, you had like two seats facing each other, so that basically people could set up interviews. We had like Mike. Oh, hey, Juanita, welcome to the stream. We had interview mics set up so that we could actually people were using their phone as a camera. We had Shore was another sponsor of the event, and there were mics set up so that people could come in and actually record a podcast. So it was actually pretty cool. We had Mac Minis, a monitor, and then the cords so that we could plug in the Shure MV7 microphones, which use a USB-C cable. And then we had cables to plug in either Lightning or USB-C. We thought we would be able to use Androids, but because the cables they had didn't have the correct wiring, we couldn't do that. So we had to use iPhones. But
hey, how you doing?
So we had to use iPhones. But anyway, it was in Atlanta, and I think they're going to do it in Atlanta next year, Kenny. And you should really look into going because I got to go helping out with ECAM, and I thought, oh yeah, I'll volunteer, and then I can see some sessions. Do you know we had that thing set up from? We set up around 8 o'clock in the morning. We were supposed to be tearing down at 8. I don't think we finished till almost 9. So it was like I was working at 12. I was working some slave hours. I was working a 12-hour shift, basically. And at one point, it was like 4:30. I told him, I'm like, you know what? I got to go up to my room. I need to like regroup. I need to take a break, basically. Because basically, they did pay for our meals. So, they brought in lunch or whatever. But we still were working because we were helping people get set up with ECAM. And they had like some special backgrounds for them to use. But just like the backgrounds I'm using now, um, and when we can pop up comments and all that stuff is courtesy of application like Ecamm. So uh, yeah, it was just kind of cool being there to help people out and realizing that even though we don't have a million subscribers, uh, yeah, hey Archer, this was in Atlanta. This weekend in Atlanta. Actually, it was the 4th and 5th of July podcast summit. David Shands from Social Proof was the, I guess, organizing host, but it's called Summit. I actually got to meet Omar El Takori, who is, I think, formerly from Think Media. I'm not sure if he's still with Think Media, but now he has his own podcast and web channel, the video department. But I got to meet him and fangirled out a little bit because, but anyway, and Doc Rock was one of the speakers. He works with Ecamm. So, and he was the one basically when I found out about it and I was like, oh, I wonder if I should come. He's like, come on, we'll need help. And surely we did need help. We did
Yeah,
need
Archer,
help.
hey, Archer, we should plan on going next year, and you should come too. And then I know we can find a comic book store in Atlanta.
Oh God. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure of it.
We can find a comic book store in Atlanta somewhere.
Or you guys could
So
go trolling the targets for action
yeah,
figures.
hey, it's all good. It's all
But
good.
all in all,
So
it was a really good conference, and I know there are a lot of different podcast summit, pod fest, pod movement, and I'm actually going to a meetup in Charlotte later this month with podcast movement. But the podcast summit I really like because it seemed to be very FUBU, for us, by us, and it was just exciting and refreshing to see so many people of color who were content creators
good.
and even the vendors. So that was
Great.
awesome. So
That
yeah,
is
I
great.
could talk and go on for hours about it, but I won't. I'll keep us on track.
Okay.
Let's go,
Okay. All
because
right.
we
Let's
always have
talk.
a little pop
Bring in the
culture
pop
news.
culture news. I added some stuff last minute while you were talking.
Oh, great! So you didn't even give me time to
You don't
make
have
the
to put the stuff in
overlays.
it, but I saw some stuff, and so we're gonna start with Jamie Foxx.
Mm.
Jamie Foxx was explaining his illness because, as you all know, Jamie Foxx was ill, and nobody knows what happened.
Like, cause I think originally when it happened, they were saying like people were. It sounded like he had a stroke, but he
Yeah,
was making a movie or he was on set and he got sick. But
yeah, he said like his body just stopped working, and he was just like it was real scary for him because from what I read earlier, he was saying how his body just shut down.
wow, that is scary.
Um, so I guess pretty much he couldn't move in the hospital, is what he said earlier. Like he was totally incapacitated, and his family didn't know. They like at one point they didn't know if he was going to make it.
Wow.
So thank God that Jamie Foxx got through all that, and
What did he share with people what was wrong with him?
I didn't get that far. He didn't quite share everything. I think there's some things that he kept to himself.
Okay.
So when I read up more on it, I will get back to you next week.
Okay.
In other news, Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon. This is funny to me. Kevin Bacon went as disguised as a normal person. He wore disguise so nobody would know that he's Kevin Bacon. He did a whole Michael Jackson thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he went out in public so nobody would know who he is. And he said pretty much it sucks. Being a normal person. Hey.
He tried it. He didn't like it.
I don't understand. I don't understand why he thought it was going to. Okay. Anyway, moving on.
All right.
You know, Kevin Bacon comes off as one of those nice guys anyway. So I'm not hating on Kevin Bacon, but come on,
Oh,
man.
I love me some Kevin Bacon.
Come on, bro. Really?
And he's
Is this
originally
what you
from
want?
Philly, so what?
Yeah,
What are you saying?
yeah, I know, but still, come on, bro. Okay, so Danny, I'm gonna get his last name wrong because I always do. Trejo, Trejo,
Trejo?
Trejo, Trejo. Danny Trejo. Apparently, he let that tough guy thing resonate in real life, and he got into a fight on 4th of July. He threw a chair. He got knocked the heck out.
Oh wait, he threw a chair at somebody?
Yeah, he threw a chair and he got knocked out.
Oh wow.
I don't know if he got knocked out, he got knocked down. They're saying he got knocked down. So, you're only tough in the movie.
Don't go
man. I
throwing
know you're
chairs
a
is
guy,
the moral of the
but
story.
here's the thing, so he is like 80 years old, man. So, or 70 years old or something like that. So you don't need to be throwing chairs at that age and starting fights with people. I don't care how much the Hollywood soups you up that you're the stuff guy. This is not something you need to be doing, man.
Not living that life.
Further news, Donald Glover calls out BET for giving him the same number of awards as famous non-black performer Sam Smith.
As who?
Sam Smith, a non-black performer. So BET is Black Entertainment Television.
Okay.
When they have an awards show, he's like, how did this white guy come in and get more awards than me on Black Entertainment? How does that happen?
The power of the crossover? I don't know.
The power of the woke culture is what it is,
Oh, okay. So we got to be so politically correct that we can't have nothing.
We can't have nothing.
Oh well, at least he called it out.
He called
and
it
just
out,
let him
but,
sit back and go, "Oh yeah."
People are going to say something about him calling it out. Now, our topic tonight is returning franchises, and not just
Okay,
not
I'm
just
sorry.
any
The wrong button.
franchises. I picked the franchises where the original actors come back.
Yeah, pieced up.
Then it got pieced up.
Don't
Daddy
take
effed around and found out. Is what happened. Daddy,
he effed around and found out.
he found out.
Yeah,
found
he
out.
got macheted. Just got macheted.
Somebody said, I know you got a stunt man. I know you got a stunt man. Come catch these hands. He probably rhymed when he did it. I know you got a stunt man. Come catch these hands. Man hands. Man hands. So anyway, but we're talking about the franchises, and we're talking about returning franchises with the original actors that portrayed them. And there's a lot of that going on right now with the different movies.
You know
and we're
what?
going to
Because you make the list, I'll let you kind of describe what made the list. Because I was looking at the list, I'm like, oh wait, are we missing some people? But go ahead and talk about your criteria.
Okay, so the criteria for the list is a franchise that was probably at least 20 or 30, 40 years old. And it came back in with the original actors that were there 20, 30, 40 years ago. So that's the movies we have on our list.
So
And there's
so
some
that is
movies
why
that are-
Fast and Furious is not
They're not
on the list.
no, because
And I think for a lot of these movies, also too, either the project is being made or has recently
Yeah.
aired. Because I think I watched 2 of them this weekend. So
okay. All right. See, and the thing of it is some of these are being made now. Some of the ones that are rumored to be made, rumored or listed to be made, and a very reputable source that I picked out
Hmm.
And I just saw this story too about a week ago. Ice Cube says that he's returning for another Friday movie. The last Friday.
Damn.
Damn. I wonder how this is going to take, because I don't know if he talked Chris Tucker into coming back. If he talked Chris Tucker into coming back, I would definitely go see that. That is a definite must see. If he talks Chris, if he talks.
So, in other words, if there's no Chris Tucker, there's no reason to go see it.
To me, no, not really. I
So
get Mike.
he can't
everything,
throw in like Kevin Hart and think people won't notice.
Yeah, no. You can't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't
You
do
know, I mean, I can see Kevin Hart probably making an appearance in this because Kevin Hart feels like him and The Rock feel like they have to be in everything.
that. They feel like that
Like
ain't
The
right.
Rock, The Rock showed up in a Tyler Perry movie one time. Come on, man. You ain't got to be in everything.
You ain't
Come
The
on,
Rock
man.
ain't got no business in the Tyler Perry movie.
He was Why'd I Get Married Part 2?
Okay.
Come on,
You
man.
gotta be in everything. You
I
gotta
mean,
just go ruin everything.
But Friday is supposed to come back. Legally Blonde 3 with Reese Witherspoon starring in it is supposed to be coming back.
Now, and you know what? Sometimes when they keep dipping into the well, Legally Blonde 1, like the first movie to me, it was a cute rom-com. It did all the things. Just leave it alone. I think too they were trying
I've
too
never seen
hard.
it. I've
You
never
know?
seen it.
You've never seen Legally Blonde, Kenny? We talk about pop culture. You got to actually watch some of this stuff.
Okay. So next on the list is Lethal.
Why? How are you just gonna move on?
Because
Tell me if you actually comb through our episodes every week, and it's not like they are like odd little movies that maybe small art house movies that no one's heard of. Some of these are kind of pop, iconic pop culture movies and moments. And I mean, there are tons of movies I haven't wanted to see, but again, just being around so much or hearing so much about them, you eventually go, okay, I got to see it. Like initially, I left. I didn't even see the end of Forrest Gump, but as it so happened, please tell me you saw Forrest Gump.
I love Forrest Gump.
Okay, but eventually, I did have to see the whole movie. I saw the whole thing.
Barbecue shrimp.
Don't start a shrimp ramp. A shrimp rant.
Cocktail shrimp.
Cocktail shrimp. That's just see, that's the reason to walk out of the movie. I actually left before the end.
The next one is Lethal Weapon 5. There's Lethal Weapon 5 is in the works. They old guys. I don't know how this is going to happen. I don't know if Joe Pesci's going to be in it. I would love to see Joe Pesci in it. I would love to see, Danny Glover and.
Because I found this on the internet and I was confused because I'm like, this looks like an AI rendering of what.
Yeah, that does look like AI. They don't
Because
look
it
that
looks like
old.
it's kind of copying off of the original. I think
they
Lethal
don't
Weapon
look
2,
that
not
old.
the original one.
Yeah, that is an AI rendering. They don't look that old. But yeah, Lethal Weapon is coming back in another. Hopefully, Joe Pesci, Rene Russo comes back also with them, and that would be fine.
So I'm just wondering, do they need to bring it back?
No, not really.
Because it seems like, well, I guess everybody has just kind of forgotten some of Mel Gibson's sins. So I guess we could be this misogynistic, racist kind of,
Yeah, I mean, when we get into the other ones that actually are definite and are out or coming out very soon, we're going to get into whether they need to come back or should they have come back.
Although now when Danny Glover says, I'm getting too old for this shit, it's going to make more sense.
Yeah, it's going to make a lot more sense now. Hopefully they're retired.
Thanks for hanging out with us. What's up? For those of
Joe,
you
how you doing, Joe?
listening to the
Oh, brother,
podcast
I need to
version,
talk to you, brother. I need to talk to you, Chill.
it, for those of you listening to the podcast version or hearing us on Who's Got Next Radio, we do record Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture live on Sunday nights, 8:30 Eastern Time. So you can join in and be a part of the conversation as far as whatever we talk about that week. This week, we're talking about returning franchises. These are franchises that might have originated some 10, 20, 30 years ago that are being brought back. And we're talking about some of the ones that are actually being brought back with original cast members, as opposed to, and again, I don't know, what would you call it if you brought back like the theme but not necessarily the original people? Is that like a reimagining, or because sometimes they'll
I would
bring
call it,
back
I
a
would call it a reboot.
franchise?
That's more of a reboot or reimagining.
A reboot, right? That's the word I was
That's
looking
more of a
for.
reboot or reimagining.
Reboot. I get
And
so.
sometimes it's just not the same. The only time when that ever worked, when it did bring back some of the teachers, but of course Grease too. They had a different set of kids besides Frenchie, and that time it worked.
It was a whole nother cast. I'm not gonna go down the Grease 2 rabbit hole because we've done that to death, and Lord knows
That's
I don't know what's
musical.
wrong with you that you haven't seen some more iconic movies, but you just have this strange affinity for Grease 2. But
So moving right along.
we are related, unfortunately.
American Pie 5.
And
With the
here's
original cast.
here's another thing I have to confess, and I'll get to Chill's comment in just a second. Now, I watched the original American Pie, and again, everybody was it was almost like Porky's, because there was a scene in Porky's that everybody talked about, and so you had to watch it to see what it was about, and everybody was talking about this American Pie, or the pie scene or whatever, which to me it was stupid, but again, I watched it, but I had no desire to watch any of the additional movies. I just
You
I
know
just
what?
didn't want to shave off that many points from my IQ.
I watched all the main American. They have little side movies that went straight to DVD or straight to video, whatever. But I've watched all the main American Pie movies, and there's always a scene in there where they get into something that you wouldn't expect somebody to get into, and it's just totally weird, and I love it. I mean, if they do an American Pie 5, I'm here for it.
Well,
I'm totally here for it.
didn't they do it? Or I thought I watched something.
No. They did it for 4. They need to do a 5.
Okay, maybe that's what I was watching because it was about a
Yeah,
reunion.
4. The reunion, yeah, that's 4.
Oh, okay.
But
See, I thought. Oh, right. That was 4, not 5.
like American Wedding. There's a scene in American Wedding where Stifler got misdirected, and he thought he was meeting a young girl in a closet, but he actually in the wedding, American Pie wedding, he actually met the grandmother in the closet, and he was humping the grandmother. And then
And
when
that's
the
your
other guy
idea of
found
comedy.
him, hold on it. They opened the door and they saw Stifler on top of the grandmother, and Stifler saw what he was doing. He's like, "Oh!" And the grandmother slapped him in the face and said, "Focus!" So at the wedding, the grandmother sitting at the wedding all happy and all like smiling and everything. And the father goes, "I've never seen my mom this happy." Oh my God. It was the best. It's scenes like that.
The things
It's
that
just-
amuse my little brother. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my God. It was so hilarious.
Scary.
So hilarious.
Oh, but here,
So-
I want to put Chill's comment back up. I remember they brought back Full House for a second. And actually, because we're talking mainly movies, but I think that was like the Fuller House. Was that
Yeah, the Full House.
Full House?
The
Was
Full
a
House. And it was
reboot
all,
with the original folks.
all except for the Olsen twins. They declined.
Oh, right. They didn't want to come back.
They've been
That's
out of the
right.
acting game look, we've been out of acting game so long, we're not doing this, and we're rich anyway. So
We don't need the money, quite
we
frankly.
don't need to do it like you guys need to do it. We're good.
We're all good. Dave Collier, yeah, you might need the money. We ain't.
You might need the money. You might need it. John Stamos, it's been a minute since you've been in something good. You might need the money.
But they were all good.
Cameron, what's her name? Whatever.
Well, before we go, before we hit the next one, let me hit this real quick and just say thank you for hanging out with us. We are Kathy and Kenny, brother and sister, former latchkey kids, current pop culture kids, and we talk pop culture every week on this podcast. You can find out more information about us at www.kathyandkenny.com. You can also check us out Tuesday nights on Who's Got Next Radio. This podcast is recorded live on YouTube, but available wherever you get your podcast. Also, want to say if you're watching us on YouTube, consider a subscribe to the channel, a thumbs up. We really appreciate it. But again, we just thank you for being here and hanging out with us on a Sunday night. I actually got through it.
Yeah.
I love when that happens.
So, 2 more unconfirmed movies we have, and then we're going to get the confirmed ones.
Oh, they're not confirmed?
They're confirmed. They're coming, but they're not in stone. They're confirmed. They're on the list to come out.
Okay.
But 25, 26. The next one is Karate Kid. And I believe, I guess with Cobra Kai being so popular, I don't know if Jackie Chan's going to be involved. I really don't want Jackie Chan involved. I want.
See, I put his picture because that's what I heard. Since isn't Pat Morita has passed away.
Yeah, but and if you follow Cobra, I think this movie is going to follow Cobra Kai.
Okay.
So after Cobra Kai, they acknowledge the fact that Mr. Miyagi's gone, and Daniel San and the rival. They team up. Now they're buddies. Now they're friends.
Okay.
If you watch Cobra Kai,
you know what? I started watching Cobra Kai and I didn't dig in. So, and I know people have said it's pretty good. There's so many different things to watch, but I haven't gone. I thought I did watch the first couple of episodes, and I thought it was a very interesting premise of seeing it from that kid's side. And what happened to his life after the match. So I thought that was a very interesting premise. So I might have to go back and dig into it when time permits.
It's very interesting, the dynamic of it and how everything worked out. It was very interesting. And next we have, and this is a surprise to me because Dirty Dancing. And
okay,
Jennifer
now,
Grey's
how are we doing this stuff? Now, there was a sequel to Dirty Dancing. It was called Havana Nights.
Yeah, but now I guess Jennifer Grey is tied to Dirty Dancing. Now, some of the cast members from the original Dirty Dancing are dead. Patrick Swayze, the gentleman who played the father.
Jerry Orbach.
Yeah. The young lady who played the sister says Dirty Dancing ruined her career because she really can sing. She did the singing part. She was horrible.
Yeah. I remember the actress played this.
She said that ruined her career because she really can sing. So I don't know how one scene can ruin your career, but make excuses if you want. There you go. But,
maybe she needs to do a movie with Andrew McCarthy.
Yeah. Maybe she should do a movie with Andrew McCarthy. So that's what. So next we have, and this is going to come out this year, Beetlejuice, with Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder reprising their roles and coming back.
But I guess we won't get any. Well, I don't know. He might be in jail. I don't know. Alec Baldwin.
I think he's in jail.
Or
Not Alec Baldwin. No, I don't think he's involved in it.
Who's the other girl? Gina Davis.
Gina Davis. No, she's not involved in it. She's not on the list of cast members.
Okay.
I wish she was because I love me some Gina Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Full disclosure,
So you
I've never
did
seen
see
Beetlejuice.
Thelma and Louise, I take it.
I did see Thelma and Louise, but I've never seen Beetlejuice.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. What?
I've never seen.
What? What?
I've
What?
never had.
What?
I've never had.
You are messing with my mind in all kinds of ways. You have never seen Beetlejuice? Kenny, really?
Moving on.
That's just a damn shame. What is wrong with you? It's like some movies are just, I don't know, they're a part of the lexicon. Like, how could you have not seen Beetlejuice? I just don't, I'm not understanding it. For as old as you are, I mean, Lord have mercy. And that's one of those movies, even if you didn't have cable, even, well, yeah, if you had TBS, they would show it every 5 minutes at some point. I don't understand. What do you have to say for yourself?
Can we proceed?
No, I need an explanation. I need a why. Why? Why? Why?
I've never felt the need to watch Beetlejuice. It's just not my type of movie.
I'm telling you. I mean, now I liked Michael Keaton as the Batman. I loved Michael Keaton in Night Shift, but I think most of the world was able to kind of see, the comedic talents of Michael Keaton thanks to Beetlejuice. And again, like I said, Gina Davis, Alec Baldwin, such great performances. Winona Ryder. Uh, I don't understand it, but okay. Go ahead. You want to push us through? Go ahead. Next on the list. Next on the list. Next on the list.
I was watching Beetlejuice and watching Grease 2, and I chose Grease 2. So anyway,
I'd say bad choice, but hey.
In 2023, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I'm getting a little echo in my voice. The Dial of Destiny came out in 2023, and that was Harrison Ford reprising his role as Indiana Jones, and Karen Allen, who's in the first Indiana Jones movie.
Now, was that actually released, or was that one of the straight to streaming movies?
That was released, I believe.
Oh, okay.
That was released.
Because I thought it was straight to streaming. Because that's another interesting phenomenon too, and also why I can't understand why some of these classic movies you haven't even gone back and watched. Because I know even for movies I'm not crazy about, I've watch the movies to make sure, to see movies like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, or I don't know.
I saw the first Indiana Jones movie for the first time last year.
Really?
I didn't like it. It was stupid. It's true what they say. Indiana Jones has no significance to the plot in the first Indiana Jones movie. Really, everything would have happened.
So you only watched it based on the episode of The Big Bang Theory.
No, I watched it. I watched it before that, and George said the same thing to me beforehand. And when I watched it, I looked at him like, "Yeah, they're right. Like he wouldn't have mattered."
All right, moving on.
Everything happened when it happened. Next, we have Star Wars. Now, when they did Star Wars,
nothing but Star Wars. I'm sorry. Whenever I hear Star Wars, I think of that Bill Murray sketch. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So when they came back with Star Wars, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford, and Billy D. Williams came back in the last trilogy of Star Wars. So the first trilogy, that's where Harrison Ford's character Han Solo died, was killed. Um, Mark Hamill was in all the three of them, I believe. And I think the second one is when he died. The last one was when the character Carrie Fisher died because she had passed away in real life. And Billy D. Williams was the only one that survived through all of it, and he was in the very last of the three trilogies. Billy D. Williams was the second one and the last one, I believe. So, and I was
I
surprised
have
to see
to.
Billy D. Williams.
Okay, now it's my time to confess because honestly, after the first three, like the OG three, I lost the magic. I lost the love. And I know
I, I'm, I'm really not mad about
Star Wars, like when they did the Phantom Menace and all those, is kind of where I lost the magic. Now I do have Disney Plus, so I probably can go back and maybe make a plan to watch. I would want to watch, and I think they also on Disney Plus they list it in order, so you could
that. Yeah,
actually watch it in. Well, you could choose your order. You could watch it in release order, or you gonna watch it in, I guess, storyline order. And I
yeah.
guess for the
There's,
story,
Disney does that. They did that with the Marvel movies. Also, they have them in order,
yes,
chronological order, in order that they should be watched in.
right,
And
timeline order.
yeah,
I
and
kind of like that timeline order idea,
yeah,
but that would require, although I think that would be a little weird because the newer ones have the, you know, better effects. But again, special effects aside, storytelling is really what you should be going for. So
well,
hopefully they should do some
the
storytelling.
first three, and the last three were kind of panned. Really, they weren't that good. Nothing's going to beat the original three:
Mm.
Star Wars, New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. Nothing's
But
going to beat those three.
okay.
And then there's
Wait,
other movies
wasn't the
added on.
second one was called
Han
something different though? It wasn't when it was released. It wasn't called The New Hope.
I believe it was, but it was called Star Wars. Interesting story for you too. When Star Wars was first released at Comic Con, Mark Hamill stood alone at a table and nobody came by the table because nobody knew what Star Wars was. And Mark Hamill was sitting there at the Star Wars table, and people just passing them by. And they didn't realize that this guy, in a couple of months, after the Comic Con in San Diego, would be a big star. So,
Wow.
be careful who you pass by.
Right. Don't sleep on
Next on the list,
don't sleep on folks.
yeah, don't sleep on folks. Halloween.
Oh
I
my
have never seen a Halloween movie in my life.
I think I watched the first one. I will say that. I watched the
I,
first one.
I don't.
I thought they already did this uh like the
They
20th or
did.
25th because it
Yeah, they did.
actually had Jamie Lee Curtis in it.
Yeah, yeah. That's the last one they did. Had Jamie Lee Curtis in it, and it was the last Halloween that they did so far. But I it was called Halloween Ends, and it came out in 2022. I could see them trying to pull out another Halloween for some reason.
Oh,
I
of
don't
course.
know why.
You know what? Sometimes it's not about creativity, it's not about artistic expression. It is about the cold hard dollar. And if they've made up to 20 Halloweens that have made money, oh, you best believe there's going to be another Halloween. Now, again, for our list of returning franchises, we were pulling on ones where original cast members are making that comeback. And I guess you could probably say the same thing for the Freddy Krueger movies or even the Scream series of movies, because I think some of those brought back, like Nev Campbell. I guess whenever she needs to work again, there'll be another Scream movie.
Yeah,
Pretty much, because I don't think Scream made this list.
yeah, no. Scream didn't make this list. Next, we have what came out a few years ago, and this was The Matrix 4.
Oh, now I know you had some thoughts about The Matrix 4. And I don't know whether I have a picture of the actual because it was the original Matrix, and then there was Matrix Reloaded, Matrix Revolutions, and I guess Matrix Resurrections. Was that the last
Yeah, that
one?
was the Matrix 4 one that came back,
Now,
and
I know
after years of after years of not doing the Matrix movie, they decided to do this Matrix movie. Keanu Reeves came back, Carrie Ann Moss came back, and actually Jada Pinkett Smith came back in her role because she was in Matrix 3, I believe, and she might have been in Matrix 2. In any event, this Matrix 4 was pure trash. It came out on streaming on HBO. It was, I remember watching it with George and me and my son making a big deal about watching it. The wife and kids were out of the house, and we turned this movie on, and we were going to watch this movie. And 25 minutes in, George stops the movie and looks at me and goes, I say, yeah, I don't get it either. But we watched the rest of it. That's 2 hours I'll never get back in my life. Ever.
I find it hard. I have not watched it and not really have a desire. I need to keep my Keanu memories fresh and untainted.
Yeah, if you
So
want
after
to do
you
that,
gave that bad review, I'm like, I'm not even gonna try.
if you want to do that, do not watch Matrix 4. Okay.
I,
Next one is
I think it was losing steam too in all the reiterations too. To me,
yes,
The Matrix was one of those. It was like a perfect movie, and
yeah,
then you know, again, they're trying to squeeze every penny out of us consumers, and that's why they reload and remix and redo some of these movies. And sometimes you just need to leave
leave
it
it alone.
alone. Just let it sit in its own sweet little time capsule. Like
Yes,
for instance, I mentioned Thelma and Louise earlier. There was no need for Thelma and Louise 2. And again, if you actually saw the movie, there couldn't be a Thelma and Louise 2. But some movies just need to exist in their time and space. Uh, the Notebook, we were talking about Jenna Rollins last week, and to me, that's just like a lovely little piece of perfect movie. I'm not sure how it related to the book because the book might have been better than the movie because books generally are. But that's just like a little perfect, to me, a perfect little sweet film, love story film that just leave it alone. But when
yes.
things make money, the dollar
They have to
sign,
milk it.
ka-ching, ka-ching, ching.
Yeah, they have to milk it. So next we have on our list Ghostbusters.
Ah, Ghostbusters.
So in
Who you gonna call?
The latest Ghostbusters was Frozen Empire that came
Hmm.
out. Frozen Empire brought back. Now they did a Ghostbusters in 2021 where they had the original cast come back, minus Harold Ramis because he had passed away, and they had a CGI ghost of Harold Ramis, which was totally freaky, and I
And
didn't
now
like
with
it at all.
AI, they could probably do a whole scene
Yeah,
with him.
yeah, So Bill Murray, Ernie Hudson, and Dan Aykroyd and Annie Potts all came back. And Sojourner Weaver did like a little cameo in that movie. All came back, and
Oh, they
with the new cast, which was Paul Rudd, Finn Wolfhand, and a couple of Carrie Moon, Emily Ann Lynn, and they all they're the new Ghostbusters, and the old Ghostbusters came out now. Now we have Frozen Empire, where they're all back. Both the old cast and the new cast are all back to make Frozen Empire. Even William Atherton is back, who was the bad guy in the very first Ghostbusters.
okay.
The
Now,
politician that wanted to stop.
it would have been really cool. And have you seen Frozen Empire?
I've not seen Frozen Empire.
Okay, I have not either. And that's again my movie going days. I don't get out as much as I used to. It'd been nice if they brought the female Ghostbusters back because I did see
It
the
would have been
female
nice. I would have liked
Ghostbusters.
that.
I liked the female Ghostbusters. I'm not sure why it didn't do better than it did.
Because there's a bunch of women.
Well,
And in the nerd community, men have a hard time giving women that kind of power. That's why the movie The Marvels didn't do that well. The men in America, certain men in America need to pull their act together and get over it in a big way. Because there was nothing wrong with the female Ghostbuster movie.
I didn't
Nothing
think
at all.
so. Now
I
again,
like
if you're talking Wonder Woman 1984, that was a flawed movie. But the female good, and no shade on Kristen Wiig because I like her. Actually, the movie I liked her in better than Bridesmaids, which is what everybody was crazy about, was actually The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, which was a movie that Ben Stiller did, which didn't do great box office, but I think was a really enjoyable uh enjoyable time at the movies. And with some of the scenes and shots in Iceland and places that he shot the movie, it was one of those movies that was enjoyable to see in the big screen. But I digress. I'm just throwing out some pop culture information.
Next on
But
our list,
Frozen Empire, I think I don't even know. I don't think it's still in theaters, so I probably have to wait
I
for
don't know if it's still
streaming.
in theaters. I don't think it's still in theaters. It just came out this year,
I
but
probably
in about a month or so, it'll be on either one of the streaming channels.
Yeah.
It'll be on.
Now, I
You know,
didn't
yeah.
watch Afterlife, but I would be
I saw
curious.
that.
Okay. I would be curious what streaming platform has the Ghostbusters franchise because I wouldn't mind. I think it might be on Max because I wouldn't
I
mind
think
kind
it's
of
on,
going back
I
and
think
doing a
it's on
revisit.
Amazon. I think it's on Amazon.
Amazon? Okay.
I think it might be
You
on
know,
Amazon Prime.
okay.
Um, Paramount. It's on Paramount. I don't know. I have to
Oh,
look
I
in.
don't
I have
have
to look up and find out.
Paramount. Okay. All
Okay,
right.
I can give you the password to Paramount. So next on our list is Bad Boys, Ride or Die.
Uh-oh.
I
I
saw
might
this
have
last
made a
weekend.
mistake. You know what? I think I missed one.
That's all
I don't
right.
have a graphic for Bad Boys. I apologize.
Okay, well, Bad Boys Ride or Die brought back after all these years Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, Joe Pantolino, who I think is an
Joey
awesome.
Pants.
Yeah, Joey Pants. John Saley was in it again, who actually was in the very first Bad Boys. He played the tall convict with the big glasses um, that gave them information. And Dennis McDonald. And I say Dennis McDonald because Dennis McDonald played Reggie. And Reggie was in the second Ghostbusters. Scooby Life, how you doing, baby? Reggie was in the second Ghostbusters. And he was at that iconic scene of them answering the door, of him taking out the daughter and them trying to intimidate him. Reggie is still in these movies. So I had to and Ghost and in Bad Boys Ride or Die, one of the best action scenes in the whole movie is Reggie.
Oh, wow.
One of the best action scenes is Reggie.
Because we were going to
And
do a review of uh, Bad Boys one week, and I was going to try to see it, and I haven't been able to go see it. But and now I feel like if you don't see it in the opening weekend or the first 2 weekends, then it almost feels like you should wait for streaming because it seems like
yeah,
half these movies are being streamed like a month or two later. Because I had wanted to
yeah,
see the
well,
Bob
that's a
Marley
fact.
movie, and by the time I looked up and had a minute that I could go see it, it was already on a streaming platform.
Yeah, it is. It's
Yeah.
always on streaming platform. Last but not least is the movie I saw this week, Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. Eddie Murphy comes back. Judd Reinhold comes back. John Ashton comes back. And Brinson Penshaw comes back as
Oh,
Surge.
what was the sitcom he used to be on when
Uh,
he played
um,
oh wow.
uh, wasn't Bosom Buddies.
It wasn't Bosom Buddies, no.
It was,
God, I can't think of it.
I can't think of it either. I
Oh,
can't think of it either. I'm going to
okay.
have to look it up.
All right.
But
I'll
in any
let you
event,
talk while I Google it because now I gotta know.
okay, all right. So anyway, Beverly Hills Cop Axel F is streaming now on Netflix, and it is well worth the stream. I'm gonna say something about Bad Boys Ride or Die and Beverly Hills Cop. They're not gonna win any awards. They're not like these all-time great iconic movies, and they're not gonna be known as some, but they're very reminiscent of the originals, both of them. They're very fun. They're very fun to watch
Well,
and very
you know what I
entertaining.
loved about Axel F. Aside, well, if you haven't seen the short where um, Joseph Gordon-Levitt is playing all the instruments to the Axel F theme, you got to check that
Not
out. Oh yeah, on social media. From the synthesizer to the drums to the bass to the guitar to the kazoo. He goes all in on it and it's pretty funny. But in any case, and he's in it as well. But what I noticed is they actually brought back the soundtrack music from
Yes.
from the original Beverly Hills, not just the first movie, the second one too. So I was like
Yes.
hearing the Pointer Sisters, and I'm like, oh god, and and see, to me, in my mind, it just proves the music of the '80s. It
Oh yeah.
kicked, yeah, it kicked butt. So don't go slamming it now,
I was
you
I was I
youngins.
was the other day. I was in the store the other day, and they were playing '80s music, and I don't think the younger people understood it, but there was one woman there that was close to my age, I imagine, and we were talking about some of the '80s songs because they were great. They were just
Hmm.
great, and I
Yeah.
think at the time, Boys of Summer was playing at one point.
Oh, Don Henley, Boys of
Yeah,
Summer.
Don Henley, Boys of Summer. Something else was playing at one point. We're like, oh man, I haven't heard this one. Oh, I know. Jay Giles Band, Cinepole was playing.
Oh, my loved one's cold.
Yes, and we're like, well, we haven't heard this one in years, man. This is great. So yeah, I loved when at the beginning they played Takedown, Breakdown,
Yeah.
You
Oh,
Busted. I
oh
love
yeah,
that
yeah.
song. I
Because
love that
yeah,
song.
I was totally jamming out to the soundtrack of this, and I was like, "Oh, this is perfect. This is perfect." Was it
You
Perfect
know, and they had to do
Strangers?
the scene, and I love the way that they did add in the scene where Eddie Murphy had to drive through Beverly Hills and kind of laugh at his surroundings. He does it every movie,
Oh yeah,
and it's a great thing. And they did it
and
again.
it
And I'm like,
changes because they could actually put in whatever the norms of And again, I'm sure it's exaggerated, and that probably is not how Beverly Hills is, and we don't want to just cast judgments. But also too, and I've seen scenes of the first movie, and but and this sounds so bad, but I'm gonna say it. I think Axel F even proves that, like, black don't crack. Like,
no, no.
Eddie don't look old at all, but you look at Judge Reinhold and you're like, oh, the years have been rough.
Yeah,
But it's
John Austin, Judge Reinhold, even Bronson
oh,
Pinchot,
and
even
even
him.
Paul Reiser, and like I
Oh
watched
yeah, Paul Reiser. I forgot Paul Reiser came back. Yeah,
I Paul Reiser because I watched the reboot of Mad
Mad About
About
You.
You since yeah, Mad About You, the TV show, because I have Spectrum now, and I guess that was the only place you could see it. It was weird that that's how they released it. But yeah, he is not. You know what I would love to see, and I mean, not. It kind of falls under this category, I guess, of re-franchising. But if you take an old classic movie like Diner, oh wait a minute, hold on for a second. Did you see Diner, Kenny? Kenny? Kenny?
Huh? Huh?
Kenny? Kenny?
Huh?
Kenny?
Huh?
Kenny?
Huh?
Did you see Diner? You've never seen Diner,
No,
of course not. Okay,
no.
well, then my whole explanation is going to be for naught. But I know Paul Reiser was in Diner. Uh, Actually, Diner is a good movie if you're playing the Kevin Bacon game because you can connect it. Mickey Rourke, a lot of different people in Diner. But I would love to see like that whole cast kind of reunited, what they would look like. But in any case, I watched
Well,
Axel
yeah,
F. I enjoyed
Paul
it. I
Reiser, Paul
really
Reiser and Mickey Rourke do not look good now.
Yeah, yeah. The years have been rough. But in any
Yeah,
case, I watched Axel F. I highly recommend it. Was it Prime or I'm sorry, Netflix. It's
it's
Netflix.
Netflix. I recommend it too. It's fun, and the young lady, the young cop who arrested him in the beginning in L.A. is actually his daughter.
Oh wow.
And the young gentleman that arrested him when they left the Spanish bar,
Uh-huh.
and one of the cops that arrested him was actually his son-in-law.
Oh wow.
So way to
Keeping it
keep it
in
in
the
the family.
family.
Way to keep it in the family. I love the way Eddie Murphy is making a career comeback. I would love to see Eddie Murphy on stage doing stand up again.
Oh god.
I would
Oh, who
love
wouldn't? I would
to see Eddie Murphy doing stand up again.
Oh, that would
That's
be
that's what I
awesome.
love. and apparently too, Donkey, his Shrek character, and Donkey, his character in Shrek,
Mhm.
is also making a movie, I believe.
Oh wow.
So, yeah, so he's coming
So we're
back in
bringing
that.
Shrek back too.
So,
Hey,
but Eddie
if it
Murphy's revival
works,
is awesome.
hey, if it works, why not bring it back? That's what I say.
It works. It
If
works.
it
I
if it
love
works,
Donkey. Donkey was the best part of Shrek.
Donkey was the best part of Shrek. It was good. It was good. I liked it. I liked it. But again,
I would like to
I
see.
recommends from I guess from both of us. If we were doing kind of like a Siskel and Ebert thing where we were giving reviews and kind of looking at each other to give reviews, I think we both would give the okay. Now we're doing the Brady Bunch window. Oh, there's a story of a man named Brady. Anyway, but Axel F gets the thumbs up. It gives you all those good '80s feels, and again, props to them for bringing back some of the songs from the other soundtracks because it just
You know
set
what
a
would have
mood
made
and
this
a vibe
better?
that was so fun that you knew you were going to
You
have
know what
fun.
would have made this better?
Oh, you know what? You know what part had me just? It was just like that. I knew this was going to be a nice, fun ride. Was when he stole the meter maid's when he stole her car or when he stole her little the meter
Yeah.
maid's thing, and then they cut to the scene and she was on the side, and I don't know why, but that just made me laugh uncontrollably.
I think you know what would have made it better? Remember the first Beverly Hills Cop
Hmm.
when that girl who owned the art gallery, if they'd included her in it, that would have made it better.
Oh, okay.
Or if she had been the his daughter's mother.
Oh, okay. So kind of bringing back
We
some of
still
the
don't know
other
who the
characters,
mother is. We still
but
don't know who the mother is.
you know what? And again, they could always put in those Easter eggs for for like the diehard fans. But I think for what it was, I actually think this might have been successful as a theater release, even though people don't seem to
Yes,
be going to the
it would have
theater.
been. It would have been.
I,
It
I
would have
think
been. I would
I
have.
think this would have made a good theater release. But I enjoyed
I mean,
being able to watch it on
Ride or
Netflix.
Die dominated. Bad Boys Ride or Die dominated for like 2 weeks, I think.
Okay, yeah. See, I think it could have made a theater release. Oh well, but I'm not a movie exec, so there you go. I'm just your happy local neighborhood podcaster. So anyway, this is a good topic. This is fun. I liked kind of going back down this memory lane, so to speak, with some of these movies as we dived into some of these franchises, the return of the returning franchises. So hey, that was a good topic choice because sometimes you don't always hit it on the nail, but hey, you definitely hit it this time. And Scooby Light was saying he was great as Donkey. Yes, I thought he was fun as Donkey in
Yes.
Shrek.
Yes.
So
We could always do an Eddie Murphy show.
I don't. Well, again, having just talked to Eddie Murphy, I don't know whether we need to do it so soon.
Because you know what movie I want to see a part two of?
What,
Norbert.
Norbert? Really? Do we need?
Norbert. I dude, Norbert
Oh
kills
wait,
me. I could watch Norbert right now and just fall out
Hercules,
laughing.
Hercules,
No, no, not Nutty Professor.
Oh
Norbert.
wait, I'm thinking Nutty Professor because I was like, wait a minute, there was a part two with Janet Jackson and oh no, okay,
Yeah, no, not that.
okay.
But and the best part of Nutty Professor was the scene with Dave Chappelle,
Um,
with Eddie Murphy as Buddy Love
oh, Buddy
buses on
Love.
Dave Chappelle. That was the best part of the whole thing. That's worth the watch right
Oh,
there.
it's so funny because at Podfest, or I keep calling it Podfest, Podcast Summit, we were talking and like I forgot some music was playing, and we were talking about "To Be Loved." Maybe it was me and Steve Wicks. I don't remember. Anyway, I remember that scene in Coming to America when they're
Yeah. To be
when
loved,
they
shut
play "To
up.
Be
To be
Loved."
loved,
Love.
shut up. Quiet down. People gotta work. Whoa, to be loved.
Oh, what a feeling to be loved. Oh wow. Anyway, so hey, this is a good one tonight, and we're a little bit over, but that's okay. We will be back next week. Do you know where where we will be next week as far as what we're talking about.
I have no idea. I will know tomorrow. We have a whole list of things we could choose from that we made last week. So we didn't choose one. We should have chose one.
We should have chosen
But
one. But that's
yeah,
okay.
we have a whole list. We have a whole list of things that we can talk about. So we're going to look at that list and we're going to talk about it. And we let everybody know by Monday or Tuesday on what we're going to be doing. We're going to create that thumbnail, and there's a whole plethora of ideas in our bank of ideas.
Okay. All right. So we will be back next Sunday night. We thank you so much for hanging out with us as we talk pop culture. It's Kathy and Kenny explain pop culture. So until next week, we wish you love, peace, and pop culture.
God bless your soul and keep living. Peace.
You know what?
We're still live.
I know we are still live because my closing credit is gone.
Thank you for geeking out with Kathy and Kenny on Kathy and Kenny Explain Pop Culture.